than it was last weekend weather-wise. I thought this would be a nice opportunity, and I do appreciate the opportunity, and I'll keep it brief, to say a few words about service, and in particular, service to our community. One of the things that's so great about this organization is not that it's just mothers, not just that it's mothers working with daughters, but it really resonates with my personal philosophy of life, which is that charity starts at home. Charity starts in our own community. So for the TikTokers out there, we kind of tend to think of the world as this big place, and of course it is. But if you break it down a little bit, all the world really is a bunch of small communities. And so to really build a fabulous world, you have to start at that micro level and build amazing communities. And that's the wonderful thing about NCL, is that we're making an impact in our own community. One of the ways that I'm personally trying to also make an impact in our community is by running for a seat on the Eureka Union School District Board of Trustees. I've never done anything like this before. Until about 6 months ago, the idea of running for an office would have seemed completely crazy to me. And the idea is, of course, crazy to my husband. But what happens sometimes in life is that you see a situation that's not going the way you think it should. And it's very easy to complain. We all complain about things all the time, whether it's the quality of service at a restaurant or that our favorite TV show went off the air. But sometimes when you see a really big problem, complaining isn't enough. And I see a need to restore the excellence and educational leadership that made the Eureka Union School District what its reputation has been for the past 2 decades. It's why I purchased my home here, and I think it's why almost all of you purchased your homes here in this area. I'm committed to restoring integrity, first and foremost, and fiscal discipline, and that includes ending deficit spending. I think all of you girls know, you've probably heard your parents talk, you shouldn't spend more than you make. That's not just true at home, that's not just true with business, it's true with government agencies and taxpayer dollars. So those are the reasons that I'm running. It's not a fun process, but it's an important process. And so this year, with all of the focus being paid to the presidential election, it's important to focus and realize that most of what impacts us in our daily lives, in our community, is not what happens in Washington, D.C. It's not even what happens in Sacramento. It's what happens with our local government agencies, whether it's the county or the fire board, or in this case, the public school system. Because I think the bedrock of our community are our schools, our parks, our neighbors, and I want to make sure that our community continues to attract people like you who expect a quality public education and who in turn are willing to give back and serve your community. So I appreciate being able to take a few minutes of your time. If you're interested, I would encourage you to go to www.electrenenash.com. I am also asking you to support my friend, Mr. Ryan Jones, who's seeking a second term on the school board. Friend my Facebook page, but most important, be a great example to your daughters. Go out and vote in November. Thank you.